What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, the only podcast you need for all your movie news, movie reviews, and more. Episode 112. We are off and
Today is
running.
just your movie reviews and anime reviews and more.
Mm. Yeah, so we're doing a quick fire podcast, so you're getting just the one recording this time. So we're skipping movie news because it's been a bit of a rush for us to get everything in. As personal life has been pretty busy, work life, personal life, or whatever. We've got on
Hmm.
the menu for you, we have Terrifier 3, the brand new horror film that's out now. We've got the new Dragon Ball anime, which is going to be controversial. And then we've got the newest Gundam. I want to say
Yep.
live action, but it's like CGI
It's video game
cutscene.
graphics,
Yeah, it's
video game cutscenes. Yeah,
interesting. It was an interesting take. And yeah, what a show we have for you today. But we Terrifier 2 off the ranks, and we
we
actually
did.
reviewed that one. I still haven't seen the first Terrifier, so
Me
well,
either.
yeah, whatever. It got massive popularity. Like Art the Clown is now going extremely mainstream. He is going to have heaps of costumes ready to go for Halloween. Like
Yeah,
it's pretty insane how massive it's taken off after it was like just your standard horror film for the first one, and then number two we jumped into. We actually both liked number two. I wonder
yeah,
if we will both like number three because it is obviously three when you're trying to do a trilogy, and they are setting up for a fourth. Fourth is, I'm pretty sure, has been confirmed that they're definitely going to do it. So it's going to be an
yeah.
interesting.
This one, yeah, this sets it up for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting take. So obviously we are jumping straight in. We've got some returning class, but cast. I was in between clown and class and cast. But we've got Art the Clown is set to unleash chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles Country as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. Bomb, bomb, bomb. So
Yeah,
I didn't read the headline. I knew nothing about it besides that Terrifier 3 was coming out. Wasn't ready for the Christmas take. And I feel like the Christmas take, I didn't like it. I didn't like the take on Christmas. I thought it was a little bit too
eh,
gimmicky, but
yeah. I guess.
yeah, I don't know. Even reading the tagline, all I can think about is the Grinch. Like I've read the Grinch book recently for bedtime stories, and it just it just puts a grinchy feeling in my stomach. So
I think besides the cold opening, it didn't have anything to do with Christmas, really.
it was still there, like even in the bar
Oh
where he
yeah, he
like
goes to the Santa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah. So
Kids
there
coming to the Santa exhibition thing, and yeah.
like it's October. Like I would understand if you released it in December, but you've released it in October. Like, do we really need a Santa Claus rendition like now? Like, did you need
It
to
served no purpose
like
to the
yeah,
greater story.
did you need to? Like, I feel like it would have been way better without the Christmas theme in there. Like, it was just, I don't know, it annoyed me.
Yeah, I don't think it took away from it being the whole Christmas thing, but it just felt like it didn't serve any purpose. It didn't feel necessary.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't know. For me, the Christmas theme didn't hit. But we have some
Yeah,
returning cast. So obviously we have the main lady. She's returning, who is dealing with Art the Clown and his impact that is currently going on in the world. We
yeah.
have
This is set, just to put in context, this is set 5 years after she survives the Halloween massacre of number two,
yeah,
Sienna and Jonathan, and she's like
see,
been in therapy for 5 years.
yeah, and I like the touch where they can still see the scars. Obviously, she gets some scars in the previous
Hmm.
film, and she gets some scars on this one. I was like, okay, cool. Like at least there's continuity where sometimes they just forget about things, and we've seen that in a number of different films where they just forget. But I think this is definitely a passion project rather than
I
like,
do
yeah,
wonder if the scars are in the right locations and stuff. Like, it'd be interesting to know. But I imagine, like I said, passion project, there's things like that probably would care about. I mean, I hope so.
yeah, hope so. So Art the Clown has a very interesting cold opening where we have the Christmas trees, and then we have Art the Clown dressed up as Santa ready to go, and then we have a little girl who I wonder how they do this, because like seeing Art the Clown would be pretty terrifying for a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
So like,
you're not wrong.
is this girl gonna be like traumatized a little bit? Like, is there gonna
I hope
be
so.
some, oh, well, oh,
I mean, look,
so
you're gonna exploit your child by putting him in movies, then a little bit of scarring maybe serves him right. No, I'm joking. I don't give a fuck.
but like, yeah, he's putting the presents down, and then this 6-year-old goes Santa, and then he turns around, and then it's like you can hear the hacking of the sibling
Yeah,
in another
the
room.
first murder is a boy getting chopped to death with an axe. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
which I wish you got to see. Like, I'm sick of kids being fucking safe and protected from horror. Like, yeah, the kid died, but we didn't get to see it. It was all from the perspective outside the room. Like this
Yeah.
show, this is like known for pushing the boundary. This is literally a scene with like this zombie undead woman masturbating with a shard of glass and just bleeding all over the place. Like you can do that, but you can't kill a kid on screen. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
fucking you bitch. Let's do it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This definitely tries to push the envelope in a number of different ways. I'm hoping they sort of just go away from a bit of like just constant shock. Like I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
some more like development rather than, your standard, here's the whoever it is, they're going to be a victim, and then let's see how far we can push the blood splatter and limbs being like cut off and all sorts.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we've had that in the first two films, well, now three films. I would like them to try and develop a little bit more onto it. Some were like really creative, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Art is very expressive. There was even points where he'd like pull out a gun and it looked like he got tired of some like super
Yeah.
massive, like massive killings. And I was like, that's actually kind of funny. Like you're self-aware, and like
Yeah,
art
yeah.
is evolving a little bit. And I was like, that's okay. That's kind of cool. It
But I
was
guess art
interesting.
at his core is a performer and like the reveal of pulling out the gun and just a quick bang was part of the performance. So I like that as his character. I felt like in number two he was a bit more fun though. I love the scenes where he's being a mime and he's laughing at the victims, and there's a little bit of that in this. I feel, but like I don't think it was as much as number two. I think that number two he was more fun and he felt more unique. I mean, art kind of feels unique that he's this violent serial killer, of course, but he's also a mime and a clown and he's kind of funny and goofy and I like that. And I feel like in this it's missed a bit.
Yeah, this felt more of your standard like slasher film. Like it felt like
Yes.
you're just moving from one scene to the other to build up to the next death. And I was like, okay, I feel like we're a little bit further. There's a whole scene where he obviously gets another offsider, which I believe I lose track of the story of the possessions and how he keeps coming back, because
Honestly, same.
I was like, oh, is this the same spirit or possession as the second film? Or is this a new one? Because there was like the whole zombie deformed lady offsider demonish person. Like I'm not
Whatever she
deep in the
was.
lore.
Yeah.
Like I was
No,
I,
me either.
I was confused where
It,
like, because the ending they talk about the possession. It was like, this is why they chose you. You're so strong.
yes. But I don't know. I mean, I don't care. I don't watch this for story. It felt like they needed a character to talk. So they're like, oh look, we'll add this other character who can tease and bully the victims and stuff before they get murdered. But again, it felt like an afterthought.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was a little bit of a miss in some aspects. Like they were trying to advance it, but again, it was just like where you've gone wrong. What made number two and number one like so popular? Kind of like the Saw franchise. Like because the Saw
Yeah,
franchise is so massive, And
Yeah.
number one was like so creative and so unique. And then as it progressed, they were like, how do we top that? How do we top it again?
Yes.
And now it's just
Yes.
becoming shock
A
value.
caricature of itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just shock value. Like there was at
Hmm.
the end where they were just like got the tube and they're nailing the tube in and they're heating it and they're getting the
Drawing
rat
the
in.
rats in, shit.
And
Yeah.
there was like an extremely long scene of him with a chainsaw chopping up the podcast couple or whoever, the podcast lady, and chopping his hand off and like cutting
Oh, in the
to,
shower. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like that was a very long scene. And it just kept going back to
And
like,
it still felt very underwhelming. I wanted her to die a horrible death. And I would have enjoyed it more if it was in the middle of hosting the podcast and he rocks up and he hacks them both to death live on the podcast. I think that would have had more like dramatic irony based on like who she was and what she represented. You know, she's part of that like fan culture who obsesses over the morbid.
yeah,
And then she dies in the shower having sex. Like it just feels like we watch that other fucking Don't Fuck in the Woods. Like a lot of this just feels like scenes from other movies. There's a shitty old movie called Mr. Jingles. I look it up from 2006 that I once bought from the reject shop. You know, those like $2 movies they have on the reject shop shelves. Back when I was living with Nick, we bought a lot of those shitty movies and watched them. And this reminded me of that in so many ways. It's a garbage clown hack and slash where the clown just feels like a generic character. It could be any fucking clown guy at this point. Like art didn't feel unique. The
no.
murders didn't make sense, or they didn't make like I think play into the irony a bit, and like you know kill them in ways that suit their character. And I don't know. This was very generic. I was very underwhelmed.
Right, which is so disappointing because it was
Yeah,
just they were very, very cool, like the first two films. And I was like, whoa, this is actually finally a little bit of uniqueness in the horror realm where we hadn't had that for a while. We just had your
yeah,
standard like carbon copy, demon possession, and then we got Russell Crowe on his moped. Yeah,
yeah,
we got Exorcist Believer, which is probably the worst thing we've ever seen. Like at
yeah,
least Sydney Sweeney's one was a little bit different towards the end. Now we've
yeah.
got this
We
one
even
where
had
they went to generic. Like it's just
the
disappointing.
say Metal Gear Rise. um, what the fuck is it? Something Rise? The Evil Dead Rise. Jesus
Hmm.
Christ. That still felt unique amongst everything else, and the kids didn't feel invincible and safe.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. This was. I wouldn't say I was excited for this, but I was like, when as soon as I knew it was out, I was like, oh yeah, cool, I'll watch that. Like, number two was really fun, and I'll give him this. The practical effects are great again. Like, that's credit where it's due. The practical effects are still very good. And for 2 million, it's still, it's doing way better than a lot of other things coming out in the movies at the moment. Uh, there's definitely elements to be commended, but it's also generic at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dis Disappointing because art is
Very.
very, very unique. Like he established himself in like there's Ghostface, Jason,
Yep.
like
Yep.
Pinhead, all of them, Michael
You get
Myers.
tattoos of it. Yeah.
And now you've got Art the Clown. Like he cemented himself in there, but like you've
Yep.
got to do something with it now. Like this will
I
just be
agree.
like, okay, you got two good films out of three. So like,
Yeah.
no, we'll see what
Well, we've
number
heard number
four
one's
brings.
good. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, this is doing better than Voyager in box office,
Hmm.
and it costs like a tenth, less,
Yeah, right.
two
Well,
mil, as opposed to I don't know what the Voyager budget was, be like 150, 125 maybe
don't know. But apparently there is already an uncut version and it's got five additional scenes. I don't know what those five additional scenes do,
of
but
this.
yeah.
Voyager was 200 million.
Whoa.
This was 100 times cheaper. That is
Yeah,
insane.
right. I mean, look, passion projects are going to win out most times unless
How is it 200 million? That's two Expendables movies. How is Voyager 200 million? I don't understand.
uh,
Anyway, it's not about that. I saw footage of the David Howard Thornton, the actor of Terrifier, getting dressed and like doing some behind the scenes, fake act, not fake act, what you call it, like rehearsals and whatnot. And that brought me more joy than any of the scenes in this.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we've talked enough about it. Disappointing, could have been better. Generic as hell at this point. Not what we wanted.
No.
1.5 from me.
Yeah, one to two. Like there were still moments where I enjoyed. Like there were moments where art was actually like his fun self, where it was like changing his MO and like being unpredictable and a bit
Yeah,
creepy. But
yeah,
like overall, I don't understand the possession side. I
yeah, yeah.
don't. There was just generic killings.
I
It
was
was
um I was talking to a client yesterday at the tattoo studio, and he was saying he liked this more because he felt like it had more story than the other two, and it felt like they're trying to actually bring in some lore and whatever. And I was like, look, honestly, that's lost on me. So maybe I would have enjoyed it more too if I gave a shit about that stuff. Um,
yeah, potentially. I don't know. I don't know. So Dragon Ball The Armor is the newest Dragon Ball is out now. There is two episodes out. The first one's on Netflix. It comes out very soon onto Netflix. Otherwise, you can catch it on Crunchyroll and your other anime streaming services, depending where you are. In Australia, Crunchyroll and also Netflix have the streaming rights to it, but they are going in a very, very different direction. Obviously, Toriyama unfortunately has passed away, and I can't remember who has the rights for this one or who's the lead director or story writer for this one. But they're going a different route. Obviously, we are going to more of the child animation, which obviously Dragon Ball was really, really famous for. And now we are into a new world. If you're watching on the video, you can see Lawson's upside down and transparent.
like freaking out.
But this is due due
Sorry.
due to a conspiracy. Goku and his friends are transformed into children. They intend to travel to a mysterious new world to undo this change. Whoa.
I'm trying.
So the first, this is a longer episode as well. So it was about 32 minutes, 34 minutes. And we are introduced to two new characters. One is the brand new King Gulma, and then another. He's meant to be like a Supreme Kai, but from the demon world. So we actually get to see the demon world, which we haven't seen before. And the first, I would say, 10 minutes is more of a recap where it's our king. I'm going to keep forgetting his name. Goma, King Goma is getting footage from the Buu saga. So this is happening just after the Buu saga. And what's happened is they've got the footage from all the fights, and they're like, Boo and Bobby were the most the strongest people that would stand in his way. And then they've realized that these people who are fighting him, who are obviously the Saiyans and the Z Warriors, were like, oh my God, they defeated him. And then they realized that they have Dragon Balls. So they're trying to build a little bit more lore into it. So we get the demon realm
That's the best
where
I can do. I'm sorry.
you're gonna have to sit a little bit further back, I reckon, as we get a real close up of your face. Um, so everyone who's got pointing ears apparently came from the demon realm, and they make note of that. Apparently, they're saying that all the Namics come from the demon realm as well. The
Yeah, which is news to me because they got
hmm,
pointy ears supposedly. That's
yeah,
all it takes.
so everyone with pointy ears apparently is from there. They realize that the Shenron is able to grant three wishes and it's on Earth. And all you got to do is, because they take notes, which is really convenient, is rise Shenron, grant my wishes, and then bang. So they're off. The sister, who for some reason is keeping people out of the demon world, goes ahead. They go to the Earth or Universe 7, depending how much knowledge you have. They go there, and then this Namek, who's the old Namek, is able to like sense the Dragon Balls because he created the demon world
The
Dragon
demon Dragon
Balls.
Balls. And
which
then also
the
the
Guardians,
the Guardian guys who protect them,
yeah,
which
which
I'm
not
guessing they're going to go fight in this, the way they talk
probably,
about them so much.
probably, yeah. And then we get obviously we see Goku, Vegeta, and they're all happily celebrating it's Trunks' birthday. He's turning 12, I believe. Uh,
9,
9, 12 or 9. Apparently, Sands don't get a growth spurt until 15. And
which
then,
is that new too? I don't know.
yeah, I'd never actually thought about that one, but I know the Sands have a youthful body until they're about like 50, 60 onwards, and they don't show any age of that. And
Yeah.
then I guess this is a nice way for them to keep the franchise going, but I would prefer them just to keep progressing with the story rather than like go into this side quest. I'm not the biggest fan of Dragon Ball, like the original anime. Like I've watched it, I enjoyed it, but I've never gone back and gone, that was great. Dragon Ball Z is my peak. And then I didn't like GT. Yeah, you fixed it. GT, where they've gone, all right, we've got Goku, we've put him back to a child. It was just annoying. I don't know if I'm going to like this one because they're now putting well, everyone back into children's bodies or like small.
Yes, which they've done multiple times. It's literally the start of GT, and this is set at the exact same time as GT, just after the Buu Saga, 1 year after.
Yeah.
It
The
seems really strange.
I don't know. Like, does Kid Goku have like a massive cult following in Japan? Like, is that where they're
I don't
going?
know.
Let's go back to this.
And it is also not canon because it's can't, do stuff back in time without impacting the future law, like super law.
Yeah, like I, I don't I don't know where they're going, but I don't
I mean, I'm
understand.
I'm I'm kind of looking forward to. I used to watch fuck, what was that show? Was it mm, there used to be a cartoon, but maybe it was the Looney Tune baby Looney Tunes
Oh yeah,
when I was a kid. And there was like the Looney Tunes, but they're all babies. And I like, that's a cool gimmick. And I like that as a youngster. Um, I'm not against seeing all my Z fighters as children, as first graders, as I said. So, six, um, 6, 7, I guess. I think that's kind of cool, but am I going to enjoy it enough to watch an entire thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't see where they're going to be able to like show the progression or the fights, and because like watching kid even in GT they were like, oh, we've kind of reached a point where Goku can't really fight these people because he's a kid, and then all of a sudden he turned into Super Saiyan 4, and then he was like normal size, and they're like, okay,
Yeah,
now we can fight.
because they made him an ape again and all that stuff.
Like, is that what we're going to get here? Like, the animation was cool. I don't understand
Yeah.
why this is a thing.
And they also introduced the really easy gimmick of the reversing of the Patara earrings is just get Majin Buu to swallow you, and he has some natural gases that reverses Patara earrings. Like, I didn't need an explanation why Vegeta and Goku turned down from Vegeto. I was okay with it just being like it's the magic of Buu's belly, and now it's like, oh, he's got these natural gases, and felt silly.
Yeah.
Like it feels like lazy writing.
Even for them to get the Dragon Balls, and then all of a sudden, this Namek was able to find and bring them,
Yeah, and
turn
then
them
turn them from stone to
stone.
regular balls as well. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I agree.
how many times can you do this? Like, you seem
Yeah,
way too powerful.
yeah. Can he just wish for 3 wishes and then literally they disappear? They summons again within minutes and does it again. Like, can he
Yeah.
just have unlimited wishes and just do it like 50,000 times a week, sort of thing?
Yeah, and also, Mr. Is it Mr. Poe or Mr. I want to say Popo?
Popo,
Yeah,
thanks,
like
Popo. Yeah,
I've seen him fight the Z Warriors and like barely bat an eyelid, but like
yeah,
all of a sudden, this guy karate chops Dende, and it was like,
yeah. And he's
oh
like,
no,
want some juice?
like
Yeah.
how strong is this bloke? Like I don't get
Well,
it.
he just hit Dende once, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's so powerful." Like, is
Yeah,
he? Did you try?
it was bizarre. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have thought like instant transmission as well. As soon as the world goes dark, I don't know why people didn't just like fucking zip straight to the fucking tower where Dende and Popo are. You know, because that's the most likely place. Is Dende's got the ability to summon them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or like Goku sensing him or like whatever. And
yeah, which I had in the past as well. Uh-huh.
and like what is with the fish guardians? Also, do they go into the fish mouth and then is the portal inside or does he poo them
I
out into the
guess.
world? Like what is this? I
Yeah, I
was
assume
like
the portal was inside the Fish Guardian, which I'm not against. That's kind of goofy,
I
but it
kind of
feels very
I would have
childish.
I would have preferred if it poos them out into where they're going. Like that would have been you go in the
Yeah,
mouth and then
like
you get
flies over and bloop,
yeah, and there's a blip,
comes out like a little like silky trail, like actual fish poo.
yeah, like why not? I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think it's hard to say. I'm probably gonna watch it.
Oh, I'll watch it.
Uh,
But,
and it's set like I haven't watched any or many much Super. Z is my favorite. I really like GT because it's set straight after Z. So I'm excited for this because I like the time frame where it's set. I'm
mhm.
kind of curious to see how, young Vegeta looks and
Yeah.
Yamcha and all that because they all got turned into even Yamcha and Krillin and all that
Yeah,
shit.
but now like Trunks and Gotenks and all them are just babies.
Babies, yeah.
Yeah,
And Gohan wasn't there, so I'm wondering if Gohan's gonna rock up later
and
and
be like,
not be.
hey, yeah.
Hmm. He might have been off world or something. I don't really know. Maybe he
Well,
was
they
on
said he
like
was
Supreme Highest
studying.
Planet.
Like,
Yeah, but who knows? He might bring him back later, and he's like the only one who's full size, like they did in GT with
true.
Pan. Pan, I
Yeah,
think was
his daughter.
the
Yeah,
offsider. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. It was, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
yeah.
No.
It's hard to review. At the moment, I'm enjoying it enough, and I had a pretty fun time with the episode. But I've got a lot of questions on where this is going to go and how it fits into the lore. So I'm not going to
No,
give it a number just yet.
nah, we'll see.
Hmm.
But let's jump into our last one off the ranks, which is Gundam Requiem for Vengeance.
Requiem.
Yeah, I said that wrong. So I'm a big Gundam fan. Lawson's seen
Yep.
very little, but this
Yep.
is in the year 0079. The Principality of Zeon rebels against the Earth Federation, sparking a war. After 11 months, the Federation series, a Zeon base in Eastern Europe, as a mixed battalion moved to reclaim it. Yep. So,
Principality was one of the words.
yep.
Caesars was one of the words. Federation, I think you said wrong as well.
But I said
Yeah.
Federation. Yeah,
Well, maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
where Gundam
It's
starts, it's always based in we have the Earth Federation, and then we have the people that move to the space station, and then the space station people are known as Zeons, and they like split and altered DNA for them to be like stronger, faster, etc. And that's where the rift starts, and then you normally have these big, grand spectacle battles like everywhere that's happening, either on Earth, different planets, or up in space. And generally, you're just focusing on the Earth Federation struggling because the Zeons are much more advanced and, like, obviously, they're bigger, stronger, faster. And then Earth all of a sudden create the Gundams, and the Gundams are what sort of keep them in the fight. And then it's the Gundams versus Zeons. That's generally where this is at.
and
This
this is on
has
set on the side of the Xeons.
Yeah, this is the first time we've actually seen the Xeon side, and it's also based around World War II time. This has split the community. Some people have really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it seeing the different take of seeing the Xeons be actually hunted by a Gundam. Because the Gundam appears quite threatening, quite menacing at times. Like it just rocks up and it just
Yeah, it's terrifying.
like wreaks havoc. Like you can kind of see it behind me sort of, but it like just pops up and it's like unstoppable, which
Yeah.
is
Nothing they
true.
have can. Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty true to the law.
Right.
Um,
I didn't know that. Yeah, I was wondering why, because I recognized it. I'm like, why is the Gundam the bad guy? But I didn't know how it fit into the law. So that makes sense. We're on the story of the bad guys. Well, not the bad guys, but normally the army they were against.
Yeah, normally the universe is sided with the Earth Federation because the people that are watching it from Earth, I guess. But the Zeons are generally seen as the bad guys or who they're fighting
Right.
against.
Okay. And that's why the Gundam's on the opposite. Okay.
Yep, yep,
Sure. Yeah, and this is them like, holy fuck, we can't compete with this thing. And it's
yeah,
cool. Like, it's proper scary. It feels like a monster movie at times where like no matter what they do, no matter what they did well in the first episode, how we were they, a huge scene where they were getting fucked up, and then these eight bots, what do they call them? Sci something. Uh eight of these fucking mechs boss down, kick ass, and was like, holy shit, they're so powerful. And then we have this one Gundam rock up and just fuck everyone.
yep,
And like it feels like a an isolation horror film at times.
yeah.
Can't do anything against this thing.
Yeah, because the Gundams are like the newest technology where it's like they just absolutely destroy everybody. And
Yeah,
they're cool. And you understand now because normally you see the good guys have this one machine that just wrecks everybody, and then
yeah,
seeing it from this side, you sort of see it like you get to see everyone else's point of view as well, which is like, how do we scramble? How do we deal with this? We got a like little bit of behind enemy lines. We've got the our main lady who we're following, who's the main. I can't remember her name, but
uh,
she feels a little bit too well.
Iria, Araya, I think.
She's got plot armor because we're following her.
Yeah, and
But
she has like spider senses. She can like sense the Gundam.
yeah, so I don't know about that point, but like obviously she might have the gene splicing slightly, so she might be a little bit more advanced. But I don't know how she
True.
sees it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the first three episode, I was hooked. I really enjoyed it. The graphics are bizarre. Like
I
I
hated it at first, but it kind of grew on me.
Yeah, like it felt like when it first opened, a PS3 opening
Yes. I
cutscene.
was going to
Like,
say like early Xbox One sort of days, like the Black
yeah,
Flag sort of days of animation. Their speech looks like shit.
yeah,
They're talking like I have to look elsewhere besides their mouths when they talk.
yeah. Like it's a weird choice to go with. Like I know
Yeah.
Final Fantasy has done a couple of these. I think they've done like three or four movies, and I think a Resident Evil's done two movies of like them doing in-game sort of
Yeah.
CGI stuff. So like I don't know, like
The
it's
environments look great, but that's it. Like the first few shots when it's like establishing the location and we're seeing like, things on fire and stuff like that, this looks really good. And then as soon as you see people, wow, this looks, yeah, like 2008.
yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, like 2000, like 13
Yeah, I don't know.
video games.
It's a weird take, and it does grow on you. It's a little bit jarring at first, but
Yeah.
it's an ambitious way for them to go and to be like, yo, here's the other side of war, which is I'm quite enjoying.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that makes me, that's a little more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
They do well. The pacing's clever. I wouldn't say it's good, but the pacing's clever. Like at the end of every episode, they end on a cliffhanger, and it made me want to watch the next one. Like in episode three, I was like, okay, actually, if I had time, I'd watch number four right now because it ends with the Gundam rocking up and about to fuck them up.
yeah.
But the middle of the episodes are usually just them running, and it's paced pretty quick though. I don't feel like it's boring.
No. Maybe it's only what, 8 episodes?
Six so far.
Six, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure there's more coming or not, but yeah, there's only six.
nah, I think that's not too bad. Weird choice on animation. Gundam's
Yes,
terrifying. It's cool to see
yes.
the other perspective, which splits the audience a little bit, but oh well, we'll
Are
see.
people not happy with it? Like people wish it was different.
It's a mixture. Some people are like saying it's great, others are saying it's really, really like it's good. It's cool to see the other side. Others are saying this is terrible. Why is this a PS3 graphic cutscene? And
Yeah,
it's
the
just
visuals are the strangest choice, but besides that, I'm not hating it.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I think it's like a 4 at the moment. It's like unique, expands the view of the Gundam universe. It's something different as well. So like
Yeah,
each transition of the anime, you normally get bits and pieces. Normally it's like just a different time zone or a different like universe set in the same grand scheme thing.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you get like a couple of different tournaments. You get like Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, etc. But like this is new. This is a little bit fresh. I like it. It's short. Try it. See if you like it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm like a three at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
I
fair.
can see how if you knew the lore and stuff, it would be more interesting. But it's not bad.
Yeah,
Maybe two and a half. I don't know. It's around that mark. The animation's really jarring,
yeah,
but you do get used to it,
that's
I
fair.
think.
They've done a few other of these like short ones where you normally you got to see like just a ground force battalion's take and just see the Gundams like fighting where it's like their perspective and it's
Okay, so set in the
them.
universe, but not actually with the mechs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So they've done bits and pieces of this before, but this is the first one to see the other side. And I kind of
Yep.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, next week we haven't decided yet, so just it's going to be a surprise.
I think
We
Smile 2 will be on the list if we can get access.
Yeah, that's fair.
Watch
Smile
the
two.
first one, why not watch the next one?
Mm, who
And
knows?
I know there's a show on Netflix coming out called The Outback, which I want to watch. So maybe that too. But
Who knows? We will
yeah.
see. You know what to do. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you give that 5-star rating. On YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And all we ask is tell your friends.
Tell your
And we'll
friends.
see you guys next time, boys.
Love yous.